This section blends lament, confession, and prophetic appeal in ancient Hebrew concrete imagery, rooted in Deuteronomy 27 to 30, drawing parallels to our own day while preserving the tone of covenant realism and restoration. The people of Israel stand once more at the threshold of promise. Behind them lies 40 years of wilderness wandering, graves in the sand, manna from heaven, serpents, rebellion, mercy, and the steady fire of Yahweh's presence. Before them shimmers the Jordan, and beyond it the hills of Canaan, the inheritance sworn to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Here, on the plains of Moab, Moses gathers them to renew the covenant. Not the first covenant made at Sinai, but its renewal for a new generation, born in the desert and tested by thirst. This renewal is not a repetition, but a deepening. It is as if the covenant breathes again, binding together past and future in one act of remembrance. He reminds them that Yahweh's faithfulness has sustained them. Their clothes did not wear out, their sandals did not crumble, and they lacked nothing. But he also warns that seeing miracles is not the same as walking in understanding. The covenant requires more than memory. It demands perception, a heart that grasps what the eyes have seen. This oath is inclusive and enduring. It binds not only those present, but also those who are not here with us today, meaning future generations, the unborn, and the scattered yet to return. The covenant is portrayed as a living root stretching through time, every generation grafted in or cut off according to its heart's posture toward Yahweh. Then, like dawn breaking after a night of warning, hope rises. Moses speaks of the day of return, Teshuvah, the great turning, when all these things come upon you, the blessing and the curse, and you call them to mind among the nations where Yahweh your Elohim has driven you, and you return to Yahweh your Elohim and obey his voice, then Yahweh your Elohim will restore your fortunes and gather you again from all the peoples. Deuteronomy 31 to 3. The image shifts. Exile is no longer final. It is a furrow waiting for new seed. Yahweh your Elohim will circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed. To love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your breath, that you may live. Deuteronomy 36. Moses assures them that Yahweh's word is not distant or unreachable. It is not in heaven that you should say, "Who will go up to heaven for us?" Nor is it beyond the sea that you should say, "Who will cross for us?" But the word is very near to you in your mouth and in your heart that you may do it. Deuteronomy 30:11 to 14. This is the heartbeat of covenant intimacy, the nearness of Yahweh's instruction written not merely on tablets, but upon the living tablets of the heart. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day. I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life that you and your seed may live. Deuteronomy 30:19. Two mountains stand in solemn dialogue, Ebal, the bald and stony height, and Gerizim, the green slope where fig and olive grow. Between them lies the valley of Shechem, the ancient meeting place of covenant, Abraham's first altar, Jacob's well, Joshua's renewal. Here the people of Israel gathered again, newly crossed from the Jordan, the stones still wet from promise. 6 tribes faced Gerizim to bless, 6 stood upon Ebal to declare the curse. The Levites lifted their voices and the people answered, Amen. Cursed is the one who moves his neighbor's boundary stone. Cursed is the one who twists justice for the stranger, the orphan, and the widow. Cursed is the one who makes an image in secret. And all the people said, Amen. The valley rang with the sound of covenant, blessing and curse, life and death, the voice of a nation pledging its so be it before heaven and earth. The mountains were not mute witnesses. They absorbed the sound like living tablets, their cliffs echoing the people's words. The stones of Ebal, white with lime, bore the Torah's commands. A wall of words between blessing and curse. Gerizim's terraces whispered life. Ebal's face was scarred with dryness. One mountain clothed in fruit, the other stripped bare, as if creation itself displayed the consequence of choice. When the Levites spoke, the wind carried the sound like a seed. Into hearts, into soil, into time. But the seed must take root. When hearts grow hard, even the echo fades. Now the mountains still stand, but their silence rebukes us. The covenant echo is not ancient history. It reverberates still. The hills of our own nation stand as silent Gerizims and Ebals, watching whether we honor the poor, guard truth, and keep covenant boundaries. Every field, every city gate, every courtroom becomes a mountain of decision. The question remains, will we bless by our obedience or curse by our neglect?
Yahweh, our covenant Elohim, you set before our fathers two paths, and they stood between the mountains of decision. They swore with their own lips, Amen. But we, their children, have broken the so be it. We have shifted the boundary stones you set in place. We have turned justice into profit and truth into silence. We have carved our own images in the secret chambers of our hearts, not of wood or stone, but of pride and self. Now when the wind moves through the valleys of our land, it carries not the echo of Amen, but the sigh of creation groaning beneath covenant breach. Forgive us, Yahweh, for the broken Amen still haunts the hills. Let your word again be planted deep in our soil. Let our lips speak truth and our hands rebuild the altars of obedience. May Gerizim once more be clothed with fruit. And Ebal, the barren hill, remember mercy.